Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. And in today's video, I wanted to have a play with some new Shimmerz paints that I've had from the Hey Little Magpie shop. That's my shop here in the UK. So I'm starting off with some Inklingz, and the pink one is called Coral Reef, which is just going down onto the paper now. And I'm just trying to create a watercolour background here. So I'm starting off with the pink Coral Reef, and then I'm going to go in with I'm Not Limon, which is this beautiful green. And then finally I'll go in with Burnished Buckle, which is this, which is like a goldy colour. Sorry, I've not got to that yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to choose these colours to go with the Vicki Boutin Print Shop. You can see that on the right hand side. That's the paper collection I'll be using today. It's a photo of myself, my mum and my daughter in the toilets at a local Italian restaurant for my 50th birthday. We went there for an early dinner, and then we all needed the loo before walking home. So I got Amelia to take a bathroom selfie. I just thought it would be fun. It's a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. So it was nice to get a photo in the mirror of us all, but we didn't really know where to look or anything, but it was fun anyway. So finally going in with the splatters, of the sage. Oh my goodness, start again. Going in with splatters of the I'm Not Limon and Burnished Buckle, and then I decided to bring in a Creameez, which is this green, and this is Sage It Isn't So, and it's just a slightly darker green, and the Creameez are slightly less glimmery than the Inklingz. So they're really beautiful paints to play with, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and they give a subtle sheen to the paper. So just going in with some more splatters, and then I shall move that to the side to dry and work on building my layers behind this photo. So I've just printed the photo in 3x4 because, like I say, it's not a great photo of the three of us, but it's just a fun memory to have. And I really like the old sort of look because it was quite an old mirror that we're looking into, and the bathroom was relatively dark, and it's greens and coppers in there. So I wanted to pull out the greens, the pinks that are in my mum's coat, and black that's in Amelia's coat and my cardigan there. So first of all, going on to this 6x12 sticker, and I see the notebook paper strip, and I think that'll be nice to stick down the side of the photo. These are two little scraps that I had. I think the pink piece, in fact, is the tear-off strip from a 6x8 paper pad. So I just cut a piece of that out to add. And then the green spotty paper was just an offcut that I had in my pad. And now I'm going to go into the ephemera. I haven't actually opened this ephemera yet because I've been so intrigued by the papyri pieces. That's all I've been using on all my layouts. So I thought I'll have a look through the ephemera and see what's there. And I like this frame as another piece to layer. I'm just seeing what else there is now. And I see this little clip, and it just says now. I think that's quite nice. And this bulldog clip, and pretty soon I abandon trying to build the layers and I just start pulling pieces out that I think will match. And I see this tag, but I think, oh, I don't want another green, and then I see the pink on the other side and I think perfect. So that's going to go, definitely going to go at the top of this layering section. So now to my good old papyri pieces, and just sifting through. You can see how much is still here. It's a phenomenal pack. So like I say, just pulling out pieces that I think might work. I'm so sorry about the glare on that photo. It's from my overhead light. I'm having to film in the evenings at the moment, so using a daylight bulb, but it does produce a bit of a shine. I hadn't realised that the photo was in the wrong place there. Sorry about that. I love this washi sticker that says hello beautiful, so I know I'm going to add that to the bottom. But just having a last quick flick through, and like I say, just pulling bits out, throwing them to the side, and then I can start building. And I want some of these bigger pieces to act as mats as well at the bottom. And the tone of pink is just perfect for me. It's like a peachy pink. I suppose blush pink is what it's called, isn't it? So bringing the background back in, and I'm just rolling over with some kitchen towel just to dry off the last of those splatters. Look at that sheen that you get from those Inklingz. It's absolutely beautiful. So checking again that the photo and the background match, and that I'm happy with the size of the background, which I am. So now I'm going to start building. And as I start building and layering, I realise that that notebook strip isn't stuck on the photo straight. And it's really caused me some issues because the line of the mirror is slightly angled in the photo, and then the line of that notebook sticker is slightly wrong. So I was really struggling, but you'll see in a minute I do pull that up, and once that's fixed it's much easier. So just deciding how I'm going to layer all these pieces, because I want that little flag that says important stuff on that green piece to show, and I decided it was definitely best down the right hand side, but I'd already thought I was going to put that pink paper down the right hand side. So a lot of faffing goes on now while I try and build my layers, and I faff about, and then I take them all apart again to pull that sticker off, and then start rebuilding and gluing things down as I go. So here we go, starting to glue, and it's when I've got a few pieces down I realise, this is where I realise that it's just not right. And it really was rather wonky. So that was what was causing the problems. So now that's stuck down better. I think I do have another little play with it before it's completely right, but it's definitely better than it was, so I can keep building these layers. So as you see, there are only two tiny scraps of paper on this one. The rest of it's all the ephemera pieces. So adding that, and I managed to get glue on my desk as well. This is that cheaper glue that I was trying out, and it's very, very watery. So if I leave the bottle on its side, which is what I normally do with the Nuvo, it runs out. So I need to remember to keep putting it up, and also put the pin in it when I'm not using it, because it clogs up later on while I'm trying to use it. Because I'd left it, and obviously the glue had started to dry in the nozzle. So layering all these bits up, and then gluing them to each other to create the mat, because I know I want to add a bit more underneath the mat before onto the background before gluing this down. There I am again, look, messing with that sticker. Honestly, I don't know why I bothered. I should have just cut a piece and used my punch. It's nice to use a sticker off the sticker sheet. So this is building up really nicely. I'm nearly at the point where I'm going to move on to the background again. Just adding this frame in the bottom left hand corner. I think this black tag's going to go here, but I want to use that Hello Beautiful title so it doesn't in the end. Just having a play to see. And then I remember the bulldog clip, so that goes on the top of the photo there. And I love how this is all building up. It's a really pretty cluster. So just checking now that I'm happy that I've managed to get everything central for once, which I have, miracle. And having a play, and it's at this point that I think I want to have another play with creating the ring marks. That you, if you've watched my videos for a while, you will have seen me doing this before. So I pull out my black soot Distress Oxide, and then I find a small vase, I suppose you'd call it, that we just keep in our lounge for decorative purposes, and it's the right size circle. But just look around your house and see what you've got, because then I found a candle and that was slightly smaller, so I'm using that. And look, I managed to splatter on my layout. So note to self not to do this quite so close to the actual layout. And now I'm using the lid from one of the Inklingz, because that's again smaller again. But just have a look around. I've done this with glue stick lids and all sorts, pen lids, if you want really small circles. It's a great way of adding these almost like coffee rings to your layout. So I'm going to deal with those splatters that I managed to get on the layout later on. But in the meantime, back to this layering. I find another piece from the papyri, this noteworthy, and that's, I just cut that video out there because that's where the glue had gunked up, so I had to just ungunk that. And then I managed to get glue on my photo because it's so runny, it's just going everywhere. So bringing that back in, and I'm much happier with that, but I do want to add some stamping. So I pulled out this Darkroom Door stamp. It's the faded circles, I think it's called, and abstract stamp. I've got it here, abstract stamp, faded circles, yeah. So I'm using my Tattered Rose Distress Oxide to just add this to the left and right hand side of that photo mat. It's very subtle, but it just adds something else to that background. And I do like the way it turns out, so slowly building it up. I add a chunk there, and then I want to move it out to the right hand side of it, because when I position my photo where I want it, I realise that it's all covered. So I try stamping, but there's not enough left on the stamp, so then I just rub the ink down the side so that I can add that there. And that's it. Very happy with that. So now coming in with my T ruler just to check that it's central and how it looks with the photo as the middle of the photo as the centre, and it looks great. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I can add the washi sticker. And then once I've added that washi sticker, as I say, I can deal with those splatters that I inadvertently added to the left hand side. The black soot. Didn't really want any black soot splatters on this layout, so we shall deal with that shortly. So back with my T ruler again, just to check that everything's straight and central. And then adding a bit more glue to that corner just to get it stuck down. And this is unusual for me, it's not very dimensional, everything's stuck flat to the layout. So putting that washi sticker down. I think I wanted the Inklingz to do the talking. These Shimmerz Paints are just beautiful, so just keeping everything nice and flat on this one. So now turning my attention to that bottom left hand corner. This is a scrap of the papyri piece that I used to layer up at the beginning. So just because I cut it with my scissors, I just want to trim the edge straight, and then I check the size that I want and then trim this to the correct size, and that's going to go in that bottom left hand corner, just shy of the left hand edge of the layout. And then I'm going to look for something else to lay along the bottom. That ruler's too big, so just looking to see what else. I pull this pocket out, but then realise I don't want to bring yellow into the layout really. And then I find this ticket, which is more of a neutral beige. So just tear a strip off that and add that to the bottom. And then very quickly after that I find a label, which I think will work, and it's got the pink and black on. So that works nicely. So layer that on top of that piece. And then just as I'm starting to look through the ephemera pieces, I remember that there is still some left in the pack, and these are the smaller pieces, so I grab that pack. That's me just rummaging around in there to find the pack. There they are. So just open this up, and almost straight away I find a piece that says 1, 2, 3, go, and I think that just fits perfectly because it's 3 of us taking a selfie. So that just fills in that bottom piece nicely, and then I can use the label to add my journaling. Not a lot to say really. This was my birthday meal out the other week. So adding some green wax string to the top tag. I'll just tie that loosely and then carry it over the back of the layout. So yeah, my birthday meal out, and we'd just gone to the loos afterwards and took a selfie. So that'll be the journaling. But there'll be a few birthday layouts, so I don't need to go into great detail. So now I'm ready. I'll glue everything down. Again, just using the wet glue, because it's a pretty warped layout anyway with all the mixed media. Using wet glue is fine. And it all dries flat anyway. Once it's in the album, it makes no odds. So checking the placement and then sticking that down, and then that title piece. And because the words are all wonky, I decided that the word 3 would be best straight. And now that's down, I shall come in with my journaling. Like I say, it's very short, and I just say never too old for a bathroom selfie. San Lorenzo, 2nd of the 11th, 22, which is when it was. And once that's done, I'm just going to come in with some splatters using that Burnished buckle Inklingz again, just to tie that bottom corner to the rest of the layout. So I'll splatter in a diagonal from that bottom corner up to the top right hand corner. So I'll cover my photo with a scrap piece of card, and here I am with the Burnished buckle. So thank you so much for joining me. I shall link all these products down below if you're interested, and I'll see you again very soon for another layout. Thanks a lot. Bye.